Author's POV. He sat on the leather chair feeling stressed out by all the problem he need to face, a nervous sweat starting forming out on his forehead. The phone keep ringing around, making his heart pounding out of his chest. Think 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖈𝖆 mumbled to himself, massaging his temple, letting out a frustrated sigh. The door suddenly opened, which made him lifted his head up. 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖈𝖆, what is this? What's happening? Fun, my license might get suspended, what am I gonna do? Help me please. He said, looking up to his wife, the woman letting out a deep sigh. I told you. You should have been honest at the first place, now look what happened. Who reported you? I don't know. I don't know what should I do right now, damn it. 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖈 stood up, slamming his hands on the table. The sound slightly making Vaughn jolted and surprised. Okay, first, you need to come and apologize to the patient by yourself. This is a serious matter, 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖈, no one can help you other than yourself. You literally hide your mistake. If they didn't figure it out at the first place, the patient might die because of you. I know, Fawn, I know. Can you stop saying that? No, I won't stop. You need to be responsible for this, even if it's gonna suspended your license as a doctor. You started it first and, you gonna ended it too. No one can help you anymore, Fawn said, giving the one last look to her husband before turning around, slamming the door behind. 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖈 sat down on his chair, feeling hopeless with himself. The time showing it's now midnight, he rubbed his face before leaning his body on the chair. You gotta face it by yourself. No, because, who work before going on a date with their partner? My girlfriend, got any problem with that? Oh yeah, you guys share the same brain cell, I almost forgot about that. Come on, how long are we gonna wait for Becky? It's been an hour, Soroka, this is supposed to be my sleeping time. Gosh, just wait a little bit more, Nam. I waited for 5 years and you couldn't even wait for an hour. I thought we are best friends, Freen muttered, glancing towards the girl on the driver's seat. Nam rolled her eyes in annoyance before facing the girl on the passenger seat, cursing silently and scoffed. Look, sleeping is my first priority, okay? No matter who the hell are you, and also, why would you compare yourself with me? It's not my fault that you couldn't moved on from your ex, okay? Ah, you are so mean. I didn't know that my car would run out of gas. Becky just need to settle something, trust me, she will be back soon. Please wait a little bit more, my dear best friend. After you send us, promise I will treat you whatever you want. Freen smiled, putting her hand up, making Nam smirked. Freen immediately feel the regret she wished she didn't said it earlier. Anything, huh? Can you sponsor me a vacation? The hell, Nam? You said anything. Anything means anything that I want, Nam said, defending herself. What I mean by that is food. You really think I'm that rich? Look, I just started my internship for like 2 months only, be serious please, Freen sighed in frustration. Oh come on, you are rich. My parents is, I am not rich. How long am I gonna depend on my parents' money? I need to work hard for something too. Freen said. Nam scoffed and crossed her arms, looking away. I will leave then. Nam immediately hold the steering wheel, making Freen panic and hold the shorter girl's arm. Okay. I will pay. Just this once, Nam. Geez. Freen sighed, surrendering herself, earning a sly smirk from Nam. Her plan is definitely working. Suddenly, they can see a figure walking out of the front entrance of the big law firm's building, making Freen's eyes lit up in excitement. Oh God, who's that pretty lawyer? She's so beautiful. Freen muttered, smiling. Nam turned around, looking at the direction Freen have been staring at as she rolled her eyes in annoyance after seeing who is that person. She's your girlfriend. That's right, my pretty girlfriend, Freen said, grinning. Bye, I'm out of here, Nam said, holding the car's door again, but Freen immediately stopped her and Becky finally opened the door. Hi guys, I'm sorry for being late. It's okay. I can wait as long as you want, Freen replied, smiling widely. I can't wait that long, Nam muttered, looking away, making Freen shooting the deadliest glare she could give. Nam, shut up. Becky chuckled before getting into the car, Freen on the passenger side while Nam on the driver's side. The car started to move while Freen had been looking back, couldn't seem to separate from her lover sitting on the back seat. Where should I drop you off? Don't expect me to be the driver for your date today. Drop us at the hospital, my other car is there, Freen said, still haven't take her eyes off Becky. Becky just letting out a small laugh with her lover action, mouthing stay still to Freen, who immediately shaking her head and smiled. I swear this is the last time I'm gonna help your ass, 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆'𝖘. Nam mumbled, couldn't handle the two girls who definitely in love. After a while, they arrived, getting the car back as Freen thanking her best friend repeatedly for the unexpected help and get in the car. The ride went silent, but not kind of the awkward silence, their fingers intertwined. Where are you taking us? You haven't said a single thing about our date, Becky asked, looking at the taller girl. Somewhere that we can be alone and do naughty things. Freen muttered with a sly smile, making Becky hit her arm. Be serious. Ouch, okay. I'm just joking. Come on, where are we going? At least give me some hint. The place where we used to go before, Freen replied, tightening their hands together. You really don't wanna tell me, huh? Becky asked as Freen shook her head and smiled. The shorter girl chuckled as their journey continued. After a while, Becky's eyes went towards the big building on her left side, her eyes slightly sparkled before nudging the taller girl's hand. Freen, look, our high school. Becky said, pointing towards the direction of the sign. Freen smiled as she took a quick glance to her lover. Wanna stop by? Huh? Stop by? Yes, I can make a turn now, Freen replied. Becky on the other hand, still clueless as all she could do is staring at the taller girl. But can we? It's weekend, there's no people. Becky muttered. It's okay, let's sneak in. What? No, we can't do that, it's trespassing, Freen. No one has to know, let's sneak in from the back gate, Freen said, grinning as she immediately made a turn, making Becky panicked. Wait, this is wrong. After successfully parking her car, Freen removed her seatbelt, and before she could open the door, a pair of hands holding onto her arms, making the taller girl turn around, looking at Becky, who's shaking her head repeatedly. Don't do it. Let's do it. Freen, help me. Geez, wait a minute, Freen muttered after successfully climbed the gate as she turned around, helping the girl on the other side. Both of the girls finally getting inside the school's back building, Freen looked around trying to see if there's anyone around them, and luckily for them, not a single person saw it. Let's go. Oh God, I didn't know our date will be trespassing a high school, Becky muttered, cursing under her breath, having no choice but to follow her lover Crazy's plan. Holding onto Freen's hand tightly, they started walking inside, passing the hallway, but she couldn't help but to smile seeing the place of the happy memories. Becky's eyes sparkled with the sight of the building. Wow, so much changed here, Freen said, her eyes wandered around. Oh, there's a list of the result for the midterm exam, Becky said, pointing towards the information board. I miss seeing my name on this. Your name on the second place? Freen asked, raising her eyebrows, making Becky slap her arm. Don't start, 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆'𝖘. You are still scary. Becky rolled her eyes as they started walking again, looking around until they reached in front of the room. Freen smiled excitedly as she peeked inside. Should we break in? Freen asked, turning around. Are you crazy? Did you eat something that make your mind going insane or what? Becky asked, couldn't believe what Freen just suggested. Yeah, I ate you last night. 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆'𝖘, you really wanna die? Let's not do something that will get us in trouble, please. Well, we already did, right? Freen said and grinned, making Becky facepalm. Oh my God, Freen, 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆'𝖘. Come on, let's get inside, maybe we could make out or something just to, refresh the good memories, 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆'𝖘. Freen groaned in pain after feeling a hard bite on her right shoulder. Becky closed her eyes, biting harder, making Freen pushed her head away. The taller girl's shoulder are now stinging in pain as she rubbed it down, hoping to ease the pain. Becky definitely didn't play around this time. Babe, it hurts. Serve you right. Come on, it's not like we gonna do something bad, let's just take a look. It used to be our room too. Freen said, slightly begging, holding Becky's hand. Becky letting out a deep sigh before rolling her eyes as she taking a quick glance towards the taller girl. she's still doubting if she should just go with it or not. Trespassing are definitely wrong, but they already reached this far. Fuck it, I'm gonna regret this later, Becky mumbled before getting inside, following by the other girls silently screaming in victory. The lovers get inside the room, wandering her eyes around the place where they used to be. The memories immediately rewinding inside their mind. They changed the table, also unfair. Freyja muttered, flopping herself down on the chair. Of course they gonna change it, the last time we used, it was already gonna break in half. Becky shook. Wanna try it? Freyja asked, raising her eyebrows, which leave Becky in confusion. Try what? How strong the table is. Freyja wiggled her eyebrows with a sly smile, earning another slap on her arm from Becky. Ouch h. You are such a pervert. I might go home with a broken arm now, Becky. Freyja pouted sadly. The smaller girl sighed again for the 100th times before approaching closer, Becky letting out a small smile, cupping the sulking girl's cheeks. Becky unexpectedly giving a quick peck on Freyja's lips as she started petting her finger on the taller girl's face. I'm sorry, okay? I will make it up to you, Becky said. How are you gonna do that? Like this. Becky smiled before slamming their lips together. Freyja's eyes went wide as she gripped on the edge of the table in surprise. The smaller girl pulled the back of her head closer, titling her head, deepening the kiss. Freyja groaned, having no choice as she wrapped her arms around Becky's body. The kiss became hotter when Freyja changed their position, Becky now sitting on the table when Freyja suddenly lifted her up, their lips moving in sync, enjoying each other before they pulled away shortly. Holy shit. Freyja breathed out. Who said you can pull away? Becky asked before slamming their lips together again. Everything seems to completely disappear out of their sight. Freyja bit Becky's lower lips, asking for an entrance, which the smaller girl immediately gave in. Suddenly they pulled away aft, as they started to panic. Shit, what was that? Becky asked, still trying to catch her breath. How do I know? Should we hide? Check it, Freen. What? No. You do it. Freyja said, shaking her head. You are the one pulling us in this mess. Be responsible for that. Becky replied, fighting back. You kissed me first. That's different. Oh shit, get down. They immediately crouched down, seeing the two guard from the small window on the door as Becky cursed under her breath, looking at her lover, who closing her mouth. This is your fault, Becky whispered. Freyja stood up after a while, peeking her head through the window before signaling her lover to stand up. They are gone, let's leave now, Freyja whispered as she slowly opened the door, looking left and right, making sure no one is here before turning towards Becky. They quietly leave the room, slightly walking faster before a voice from behind startling them. Hey, you two, stop right there. Fuck. Run. Freyja cursed after turning around, seeing the guard started running after them. Freyja immediately held the smaller girl's hand. Becky, run faster. I am trying. I'm wearing a freaking heels, Freen. Freyja stopped as she looked down on Becky's feet and back to the figure running for them. Her heart started pounding faster as she crouched down. Get on my back now. Wait, what? Just do it, Becky. Becky immediately get on her lover's back without thinking twice, the adrenaline inside Freyja's body holding on the smaller girl's legs. They reached the back gate, Freyja helping her lover climbing it first before herself, and they successfully did it. Finally getting into the car, the girls trying to catch their breath from all the intense running. Freyja couldn't feel her legs anymore as she turned towards Becky. I think I lost my legs. I lost my soul, Soroka, what you gonna do about that? They look at each other before bursting out laughing. Becky sighed in relief before pinching her lover's cheek. Thank you for this date. How's work going, Becky? I heard from 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆 that you just won another case. Your skills are really incredible, just like your parents. Work is good, and yes, I learn a lot from them. 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈 is such a lucky man to have you. Tell me if he did something stupid, okay? Becky just let out a small smile, looking down on her food, deciding not to reply to the older guy. She can feel a soft nudge on her right shoulder as she glanced towards the guy beside her. Dad, come on, I won't do that. I love Becky with all my life, 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈 replied, smiling as he turned to his wife. Becky just smiled, but her mind immediately drifted somewhere. I'm happy to see you too after a while, what can I say? Both my son and daughter-in-law are lawyer, of course their schedule gonna be packed. I'm glad you guys make time to have a dinner with us, the older woman said, looking at the newlywed in front of them. We are sorry, Mom, cases just keep coming in and at his parents and back to Becky. That's too bad, I'm expecting a grandchild already, the mother said, which made Becky choked on her food, coughing nonstop before Tharn quickly passed the water to the girl. The thought of having children with someone who she doesn't even love just messing her thought even more. Her mind instantly went to Freen. How great is it, if it is her instead? That's what Becky spoke inside. Mom, we just got married, come on, it's too early for that. Right, Becky? Tharn turned his head towards Becky, worried about the question from his mother might affect Becky. Excuse me, I'm gonna use the toilet. Becky excused herself politely before stood up from her seat and leave the table. As soon as she reached the toilet, Becky opened the door and went to the sink, looking at her phone. Letting out a deep sigh as she closed her eyes and looked at the reflection of herself in the mirror. Freen. Freen is all she could think about, and it's making her insane. The decision she did before definitely eating her back. The marriage was the biggest mistake she ever made, and she is getting tired by it. I should have waited, just a little bit more, Rebecca. Becky muttered to herself. Regret is all she could feel right now. Opening her phone, Becky decided to text the person she have been thinking about. Babe. Becky, can I stop by the hospital? I wanna see you. 9:43 p.m. Becky, I will be there after I finish my dinner. 9:43 p.m. Becky, I will see you soon. 9:44 p.m. Becky sent the last message before turning her phone off, walking out of the toilet, clearing her throat and fixed herself for a bit before making her way to the table with a smile on her face. A forced smile, to be exact. The dinner went by and now it's time for her to go. After Tharn's parents left, she went to the separated car she brought, and Tharn just let her go without a word because he knew it was pointless. Becky looked outside the window after the light turned red. The beautiful night view of the Bangkok city still couldn't help with the loneliness she felt. The only person that could fix it is none other than Freen, her first love and hoping to be the last. Her thought got interrupted with the sudden phone call she received. Becky pushed the button before driving away again. Hello, Alex? What's wrong? Becky asked, seeing her driver name on the screen. After a few seconds, she can feel her heart dropped after hearing the news from the other side. Becky frozen for a moment before ending the call, adding her speed, and she can feel a cold sweat started forming on her. No, Dad. This way, quick. The paramedic started bringing him to the bed. As they pulled the patient to the bed, Freen stopped her feet for a moment, seeing the new patient coming, but then her eyes went towards the familiar girl running along. Becky? Freen muttered as she immediately walked to the girl. Becky, what happened? Freen asked as she started to panic after seeing the tears on the smaller girl's face. Freen, my dad, please save my dad. Becky begged, holding on the taller girl's shoulder as Freen turned around, seeing the familiar face on the bed, laying helplessly. Freen immediately ran to the bed as her heart started pounding faster. Give him D10W and 2 ampules of thiamine on the side. Check his blood sugar level every 30 minutes. Yes, doctor. Dr. Freen, do an 𝖗𝖘 right now, Bella said, looking at the girl. Why yes, Dr. Bella. After the situation got under control, Freen stand in front of the bed looking at the patient as she let out a deep sigh, turning to her senior. It's very likely that he has hypovolemia, so let's hydrate him with normal saline first and love, check his electrolytes every 2 hours. Bella turned towards the other girl on the side. Freen turned around, looking at the girl sitting hopelessly on the bench. Becky having her head down, while Freen couldn't help but to feel her heart take with the sight. Before she could walk towards the girl, Mrs. Armstrong arrived at the scene. The taller girl watched the mother and daughter hugging each other tightly. Freen can see how hard Becky cried on her mother's arm, and it's breaking her apart. Before she could approach them, the machine beep again, making all the eyes went towards the man laying on the bed as Freen immediately ran to the side. Ma'am, he's having a seizure. Love shouted, looking at Bella. It's VFib. I will do chest compressions. Freen yelled as she climbed on the bed before suddenly a hand stopping her action as she turned around and saw Bella holding on her arm shaking her head. Dr. Freen. What? Freen looked at her and her eyes went towards the older woman with Becky on her side. Her heart instantly feels heavy as she gulped down her saliva. Don't tell me. Freen muttered, seeing Mrs. Armstrong's reaction, and back to Bella. Why did you stop? Save my dad. Becky shouted, crying, making Freen realize something. Her head went towards the mother. Did he sign the DNR? Freen asked, her voice cracked halfway and her eyes started to shake, and when her tears didn't stop flowing from her cheeks. Becky shook her head before walking towards her lover and held her hands. Please, Freen, there must be something we could do, right? Please, just save my dad. Becky begged, crying in front of the girl, making Freen's heart broke even more as she closed her eyes. Becky. Miss Becky, I'm sorry to say this, but Mr. Armstrong already signed the do not resuscitate orders and there's nothing we could do about that. Bella spoke, looking at the younger girl who still seems in denial. Becky can feel her knees become weak as she held on to the taller girl's arm, crying on Freen's shoulder, and all the taller girl could is hugging her tightly. Love on the other side calming Mrs. Armstrong down, and she also couldn't help but to feel the pain from what happened. Freen pulled the girl even closer, trying to hold herself from breaking into tears again. And in the end, Freen still couldn't change the fate no matter how much she wanted to. Hello guys, I hope you all like this chapter. Please subscribe, like and comment your thoughts, and don't forget to share it to our fellow Freen Becky fans.